ang magre-review ng exam. Tight po ang security sa conduct ng exams. Kasi ang isang question po niyan, mag-leak lang yan, malakas po ang cost niyan. Itatapon namin lahat yung kadugtong ng mga question niyan, di ba? So we are very careful in regard to conducting reviews for the civil service examination. But we usually, ang pwede lang namin magawa is to issue out parang tinatawag na general announcements na ito yung coverage ng exam. Meron tayo sa numerical ability, analytical ability, verbal ability, at general information. This is, however, to state the importance of asking the more important question. I think the more important question in regard to passing the exams is, are we asking the right questions? I think that's the most fundamental question that should be asked in regard to our exams. Kasi hanggang hindi natin natataya o napag-aaralan kung angkop ba ang mga tinatanong natin na question, marami pa rin dyan ang hindi makakapasa. Kung kunyari sa verbal ability, analytical ability, sasabihin mo, bread is to butter and milk is to what? Angkop ba ito sa atin? Sinong nakakaalam na karamihan sa mga nag-e-exam ng equivalences ng mga ganitong usapan? So, since ang nag-shift na ang Civil Service Commission sa competency-based na trainings in human resource management, I think we should also begin to shift our exams to focus on competencies for public service. Sa karamihan ng pag-aaral ng Civil Service Commission, and I'm being very candid about this, I think kilala mo ako dito sa SecGen, nung ako ay SecGen, hindi po ako nagsisinungaling, diretso po akong magsabi ng mga bagay-bagay, especially sa mga problema. Kailangan mag-shift na tayo, and the exams should measure preparation for public service. Hindi aptitude exam kung saan ang minemeasure kung magaling ka ba sa math, magaling ka ba sa English, magaling ka ba sa reasoning. Ang percentage is, I think, 30-30-30 for the three aptitude areas, and there is a minuscule portion for general information, which is information on the government. The tragedy, even in the House of Representatives, many of our employees do not know anything about the structure and the functions of their government. Pagkakaiba ng legislatura, hudikatura, tsaka iba pang ahensya, hindi natin alam, karamihan. Course, even graduates of public administration wonder whether or not policies are in the territory of the executive or the legislative or ito mga sinasabi kong readiness for employment in the civil service. Ang initial na recommendation sa meetings ng commission is that increase natin yung percentage ng general information and make it knowledge about the government. And then slowly shift itong mga questions in the various aptitude areas into competency areas. I think this can be a subject for I think it's an important initiative for the Civil Service Committee of the House of Representatives. I think it's one of the more critical things, including revising the qualification requirements for employment, kasi marami na pong qualification requirements sa ating bureaucracy ang hindi na angkop, wala nang silbi, kagaya ng sinabi ng ating commissioner kanina. Sino pa ba ang may kailangan ng bookbinder? Sino pa? Marami ng obsolete positions, and then the reality of a digital age, di ba? Pag tignan nyo ang ating dispersal sa mga trabaho natin sa gobyerno, ang mga digital positions, mga IT positions, nasa mababa ang mga sweldo. So, we are also reviewing qualification requirements. We have engaged in a partnership with the UP, University of the Philippines, particularly the UP and SIPAG, for an overall look through and review of all the qualification requirements for all positions in the civil service. But it will take us a little bit more time to finish the job. So ito po yung mga ginagawa namin para dito. In the meantime, slowly, kahit papano kung ano lang pwede nating magawa, we will try to do our best to improve, passing or getting something, getting the eligibility through exams, through our examinations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair, and thank you very much for the response, Chair. Yep, spoken like a true academic in the area of public administration. Yan po yung sinasabi natin na kailangan ng ating mga JO at ng mga kontraktual sa gobyerno na edukasyon para po sila ay maihanda dun sa pagkuha ng ating civil service exam. Why am I overemphasizing this particular point? And why are our colleagues here emphasizing this very important point? Kasi talagang alarming po yung nangyayaring fenomeno ng kontraktualisasyon sa mismong loob ng gobyerno. Kaya kinakailangan gawin po natin ang lahat para tiyakin that we help them through a career pathway na hindi na po sila manatiling JO at kontraktual.
Agree, I agree.
Thank you very much po, Madam Chair.
Salamat
Let
din
me
po.
proceed to the next topic dahil nasa budget po tayo, usapang pera. Ayan. Pero ito pong pera po na ito, hindi po yung budget natin, kundi yung pong Personal Economic Relief Assistance. No? Alam ko po na pwede nyo sabihin na hindi, itanong nyo yan sa, sa DBM. Pero itatanong ko po sa CSC. Kasi po napakahalaga na i-note natin na 2009, sinabi natin 2,000 pesos ang ating pong pera. At sa gitna po ng tumataas na presyo ng mga bilihin, lalo na ngayon, nananatili pong 2,000 pesos ang pera ng ating mga government employees. Ang tanong ko po, meron po bang ginawang pag-aaral ang CSC on the loss of the purchasing power of the pera over the past 16 years? And how does it plan to recommend adjustments so that allowances can keep pace with the rapidly rising cost of living in the Philippines?
Sa Civil Service Commission po, wala po. Wala po kaming studies kasi this is inilabas po sa jurisdiction namin yung mga tinatawag na financials in regard to the civil service. Ang sa amin na lang is qualification standards, entry by merit and fitness, ito na lang po. But even as we say that, we have already discussed in the commission the importance of getting into this place in cooperation with the Department of Budget and Management. Kasi kailangan mo na ring i-review. Lahat na umaakyat, nagbabudget tayo, nakikita mo, iba na ang presyo, di ba? So, I think it's time that we get our feet wet again in terms of determining appropriate linkage of planning for the programs in the civil service or in any government agency whatsoever, and firm up its relationship with the budget thing. Kasi parang makita natin, tama pa ba itong mga ganitong levels ng budgeting, which means budgeting for personal services, for MOOE, ay for capital outlay. Kailangan na po talaga ng overhaul ng maraming bagay sa ating mga structures and processes in government.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a very quick manifestation before I end and yield the time to the next member of the House. Kaya nga po sana maasahan natin yung suporta ng CSC dito po sa pinapanukalan natin dito sa House na dagdag na pera para po sa ating mga empleyado sa gobyerno, 8,000 pesos. At sana po sa susunod na hearing ay we can have your support on this very
Hindi po
important
namin kayo
mechanism.
pababayaan dyan. Gusto rin po namin yan.
Maraming salamat for the commitment. Thank you very much, Madam
salamat
Chair.
po.
Thank you, Representative Sandanya. Those are important observations, and everything is truly well noted and taken. And now we move to Representative Salvador Pleito.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning po to our dear colleagues and esteemed resource persons, ating chairman ng civil service, mga kasama. This is about the ongoing modernization project. Yung natin, yung goal, yung timeline. May tanong lang po ako, Madam Chairman. Is there an integrated human resource information system now in place across the bureaucracy? Thank you.
Wala pa po. We are building from the ground up. That's why it's terribly difficult. Kaya sabi ko kanina, kailangan natin ang guidance at lakas ng Holy Spirit kasi wala pa po. We have little things in our little offices in different branches of the government. We try to come up with HRMIS systems. But the vision of the PCSMP is for a government-wide HRMIS, dinagdagan pa ng payroll system. So malaking trabaho po ito. Kaya nga po yung rollout niya sa una 4 na ahensya, and then dadagdag ng another 5 for the next year, and then another 5 for the next year until it reaches its target of 40 for the last year of the program. But even if the program is completed, hindi pa rin niya mako-cover ang lahat ng government agencies kasi we have so many, like more than 8,000 agencies, but the departments are more or less within the 200, the department and attached agencies are within the 200 range, diba? So medyo ito ay kick off, parang we are planting the seeds of a network of an HRMIS to make our people realize that this is the best way to facilitate processes in the civil service from the point of recruitment hanggang sa point ng retirement.
May bumulong kasi sa akin dito na isa lang daw. Kaya thank you, Mr. Chair. Madam Chair, at this representation, Madam Chair, fully support the proposed
Salamat
budget
po.
of
Salamat
civil
po.
service for 2026 to be able to roll out the human resource information system across the bureaucracy. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Representative Plato. Now we move to Representative Robert Nazal.
Good morning.
Good morning po.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. So I'd just like to touch on RA 11861. Specifically po yung
Inclusive na.
Section 22 nung IRR, yung sa parental leave for solo parents. Nagkaroon po kasi ng meeting before, no? Tapos dun sa from the minutes of the TWG dated September 7, 2022. It was further clarified na yung mga JO and COS are included po dun po sa batas sa RA 11861 na there was a question raised and the DOJ replied, sumagot po sila, nakasama po yung mga JO tsaka COS. Kasi po ang nakalagay po dun sa batas is regardless of employment status.
Can you Ariel?
So during that meeting, dun po sa TWG, ang sagot po there was a question raised, and nung sumagot po yung DOJ, dapat po magbibigay po ng memo or mag-i-issue ng memo ang Civil Service Commission to include yung JO tsaka mga COS. So I would just like to follow up on that. Ano na po nangyari?
Good morning po, Madam Chair, with the permission of Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner. Thank you.
Po, Your Honor, the provision of the IRR says that it can be given to an employee regardless of employment status.
Yes.
Unfortunately po, ang ating po mga JOs and COS do not have employment status because under the law, they are still considered not as government officials and employees. Siguro po kung yung pag-provide sa kanila niyan will be included in the contract that they signed with the government, then that's the time that they can be given the same privilege. Sa ngayon po, the Civil Service Commission is not even part of the agencies that regulate the hiring of job orders and contract of service employees in government po.
Kaya nga po siya, excuse me, no? Kaya nga po siya in-include dun sa law. Kasi para hindi na siya maging, what do you call this? Hindi na siya maging dependent on any contract